Now, this is a very important and practical debate. During Pervez Musharraf's era in Pakistan, a degree was made mandatory to become a member of Pakistan's parliament. The idea was simple to bring educated people into politics. But this created a serious issue. A representative is not just someone with a degree, he is someone who understands the problem of his area. An outsider with a degree may not understand local issues, while a local person without a degree might represent people better. So the condition was eventually removed. Now, this leads us to an important debate. Does education really guarantee competence? The answer is no, because competence is not just about degrees, it is about vision, awareness, and connection with people. There are two issues with democracy in Pakistan: ignorant voters and men of property in the parliament, that too demagogues. So it is hard to bring any change in both of them. So we can build a system comprising of norms and values that will force the candidates to work accordingly. In this, society plays a crucial role in shaping democracy. Societies can be homogeneous, where people share similar backgrounds, or heterogeneous, where diversity exists. Now, heterogeneous societies can further be plural, where people live peacefully, or polarized, where differences lead to conflict. Politics is a reflection of society. A polarized society will produce polarized politics. Culture is what we are. This includes our food, dressing, infrastructure, etc. For instance, Afghani pulao, Italian kitchen, etc. These are called norms and values. Similarly, democracy is not just a system of elections, it is a culture based on values. To find out if there is true democracy being practiced somewhere in the world, we can check these norms and values. These values include equality, freedom, justice, accountability and transparency, and fair play. Without these values, democracy becomes weak and ineffective. Equality. Equality is a sign or tenet of a democratic culture or democracy. Universal human equality is utopian. This philosophical line says that equality is unachievable. However, democracy does not talk about bringing absolute equality in terms of rich or poor or class. It talks about equality before law or society. This means people should be treated equally. Their rights and duties should be equal. There should be no discrimination against anyone. However, in practice, equality is often absent. Powerful individuals and elites frequently receive privileges that ordinary citizens do not. This creates a gap between theory and reality. Rousseau said, "Man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains." Will Durant defined these chains as first condition of freedom is limitation. Make it absolute or it dies in chaos. Limitation means which maintain social order. If absolute freedom is given, there will be chaos in society. For instance, if there is no red light on traffic signal, people will try to cross road from all sides, which can lead to accidents or road blockage. Thus, red light is a crucial chain. There are different types of freedoms: freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom to live, etc. Now, one cannot abuse the other or defame him on the name of freedom of speech or freedom of expression. However, there should be no limitation on expressing or giving one's opinion or right to peaceful protest. Thus, freedom should be within limit. Absolute freedom cannot be granted. A balance is necessary between freedom and control. However, many governments around the world, including Pakistan, are tightening these chains extraordinarily. Move your stick lest you should chop the nose of others. In their efforts to control or regulate, governments are harming the fundamental rights and liberties of individuals. The challenge lies in balancing the protection of freedom without overstepping into authoritarianism, where the restrictions imposed to safeguard freedom actually suppress it. The most misused tenet of democracy in the whole world is freedom. Justice is a fundamental pillar of democracy. It must be equal and timely. Selective justice is not justice, it is injustice. As Ali ibn Abi Talib said, a society can survive disbelief but not injustice. When justice is unequal, it leads to resentment and instability. Next is accountability and transparency. Accountability ensures that those in power are answerable for their actions. Transparency ensures that decisions are open and visible to the public. Without transparency, accountability loses its meaning and corruption increases. Democracy requires fair play, equal opportunities for all. No individuals or group should be suppressed. However, in many societies, including Pakistan, elite dominance limits fair competition. The think tanks from around the world divide the world's regimes into four types based on democratic norms and values and the frequency of their implementation. Across the world, democracies differ in quality. Some are authoritarian with limited freedoms, some are hybrid, combining democracy with control. Others are flawed with weak institutions, and a few are true democracies with strong systems and values. True democracies, such as those in Scandinavian countries, have strong institutions, welfare systems, and high social mobility. They allow individuals to improve their social and economic status through hard work. These are often called welfare democracies. In Pakistan, democracy faces several serious challenges. Politics often revolves around personalities rather than policies. Instead of presenting clear agendas, leaders rely on emotional slogans, dynastic influence, and rhetoric to gain public support. This ultimately leads to weak governance and lack of real progress. As a result, three major problems continue to weaken democracy in Pakistan. First, voter ignorance, where many citizens either lack awareness or do not participate meaningfully in the political process. Second, the dominance of wealthy and often demagogue leaders who use influence and rhetoric rather than vision and performance. Third, a weak democratic culture where fundamental values like accountability, transparency, and fair play are not fully practiced. These issues are interconnected and reinforce each other, ultimately preventing democracy from functioning effectively and delivering its true benefits. In developed countries like the United States, political debates focus on policies such as education, healthcare, and economic planning. Leaders present clear agendas and are judged based on performance. This is a major difference from developing democracies. So, what is the solution? The solution is not to restrict democracy, but to design it properly. To improve democracy, three major steps are required. First, strengthen democratic culture by promoting values such as equality, justice, and transparency. Second, improve the quality of leadership by encouraging capable and visionary individuals. Parliament should consist of representatives, people who truly represent the public. But the cabinet, the decision-making body, should consist of technocrats, experts in their field. The real solution is not just changing individuals, but building a system based on strong norms and values that forces both voters and leaders to act responsibly. Third, address voter ignorance by educating and empowering citizens. Democracy is not just about elections, It is about values, awareness, and responsibility. It is not just about numbers, but about wisdom. It is not just about power, but about accountability. If voter remains unaware, leaders remain self-serving, and systems remain weak, democracy will exist only in form, not in substance. The real challenge is not to adopt democracy, but to make it work.